I am convinced that the topic of franchising is often undeservedly ignored by entrepreneurs or those who have accumulated capital and are thinking about where to invest. With these and other videos on the channel, I want to delve into the issue in detail and show you non-obvious solutions in choosing and running a business, as well as highlight blind spots for entrepreneurs, which they discover every day through their own experience. For example, today I want to explore the topic of finding a franchise. Everyone knows about franchises for cafes, fitness centers, or stores. But what if I told you that there are entire industries that are not yet overcrowded with competitors and could become real breakthroughs in the market? And overall, let's figure out what a franchise is and why it's an excellent way to start a business with a proven model. Hello everyone, my name is Anton Vasilenko. I am 32 years old and the co-founder of the True Gamer brand network, as well as the owner of 4 successful brands. Over the years, I have managed to open more than 450 locations, which serve over 600,000 clients monthly. In 130 cities around the world, my business portfolio includes projects that are already well known and annually features in the rankings of Forbes, RBC, and other influential business publications. My team and I are ambitious, strong entrepreneurs. We are not afraid of challenges and are ready to promote concepts that literally blow people's minds worldwide. Just consider the concept of extreme esports, which we plan to develop in collaboration with Abu Dhabi. I have gone through all the stages of development, from choosing a niche to entering global markets. And moreover, I am doing all of this right now in real time. And now I want to share my experience with you. On this channel, I will talk about business, trends, entrepreneurial approaches, and share my vision of how to build a successful company. Let me say right away that buying a franchise is not passive income where you invest once and just reap the rewards. Usually this approach leads to losses, the quick closure of a branch, and reputational risks for the franchisor's brand, and it is not suitable for all investors. It is suitable for those who are ready not just to invest money in a business technology, but who want to understand it, to implement it independently, and to develop this business in their city, region, or district together with a mentor from the main office. Yes, it is important for those who are ready to work on trust with a franchisor who has already explored the market, understood their target audience, studied all hypotheses, and is ready to expand their influence in a specific field. In essence, essentially, you are purchasing yourself a senior mentor who is highly motivated and dedicated for your business to achieve success in the long run, as they will receive their share of your outcomes and achievements based on their know-how. As a rule, the franchisor's share will be smaller, and yours will be larger. To better understand why and how purchasing a strong franchising model can turn you from just an investor with good management skills, let me tell you how the idea of selling a business as a franchise came about. It is believed that the first vivid example of the spread of franchising in the manufacturing sector was brought by the Zinger company, the manufacturer of the famous sewing machines. It became so in demand worldwide that the company simply couldn't keep up with global demand using its own capacities, and then Zinger offered independent entrepreneurs the right to sell its sewing machines in exchange for a percentage of the sales. This was a kind of manufacturing franchising, a model in which independent businessmen, franchisees, sold the manufacturer's product, earning a percentage from sales. Unlike traditional retail, where sellers purchase goods for resale, Zinger franchisees received the exclusive right to sell sewing machines in a specific region or even city. This allowed the company to quickly expand its market presence, while franchisees received a proven product and support from the company. For Zinger, this model proved to be extremely effective, as it allowed for a significant expansion of the sales network without the company itself needing to invest in creating new outlets. In fact, Zinger provided entrepreneurs with a field in which they could develop using its accumulated potential. But I am convinced that such a model will not suit people who are bursting inside with their own ideas, and it seems, yes, they are attracted to the work of a certain brand and they wouldn't mind becoming their partners. But inside there is an itch for creativity, to change the world with their product. Then it's better to follow your own path without giving false hope to yourself or the franchisee. A creative approach in a franchise, essentially altering and deviating from the model set by the franchisor, threatens the loss of funds, customer loyalty, and conflicts with the managing company. Franchises are ideal for those who are open to listening and absorbing a system that is already on track, and treat the managing company as a mentor who has practically verified every step and provides provides you with an already working strategy. You receive the best technologies, the best expertise in the industry you have chosen, with relatively small investments in terms of money and your time resources. Because if you were to create all of this from scratch, the success rate would be too high. And before you make so many mistakes, you might already change your mind about doing this, become disillusioned with the niche, and completely drop out. By the way, I stepped out. In previous episodes, it was mentioned that you must have your own capital to purchase a franchise. So just having competence and desire is not enough. This is not entirely true. You can enter a franchise and even open several locations without having any of your own money, just with a strong desire to become part of a certain brand. An example from my own case with the company True Gamers. A few years ago, a woman came to us after a 5-year maternity leave. She had extensive experience in the banking sector behind her, and most importantly, she was very eager to achieve. And of course, such a person is very attractive to people who are looking for passive investments. After she shared her story and showed a strong desire to participate in the brand's development, we signed an NDA with her and provided her with all our business models, allowing her to demonstrate some of them to potential investors. It was obvious that we would get a great franchisee, hardworking, stress-resistant, eager to show results, and she will quickly be able to find the funds to open the first location. And literally within 40 days, almost instantly, she found an investor, and now for 4 years she has been leading several True Gamers game franchises in her region. Another option is to look for government programs to obtain subsidies for opening a franchise. In different countries, there are support programs for small and medium-sized businesses that can help entrepreneurs start their business with minimal costs. These can be government grants or subsidies provided for specific purposes, initial capital, assistance in covering initial franchise costs such as renting premises or purchasing equipment, training and consultation. Programs that include franchise management, marketing, and financial management. Preferential loans with favorable conditions for obtaining loans to open a franchise. If you have no issues with funds for the franchise, then a new question arises about making the right choice. The most popular option on the market is food and beverage, all about food and drinks. Next comes retail, franchising, selling clothes, products, spare parts, goods, and everything else. The next is beauty services, everything related to beauty, cosmetology, hairdressing services, and more. And this top is closed by simple services like repair, technology, or automotive. But obviously these areas are now oversaturated, and in my opinion, entering them is more difficult and pointless. An exception is when you travel a lot and notice that in some regions there are unique fitness centers or special restaurants, some foreign concepts, and you realize that this market is not yet saturated, and this place is non-competitive, and you can implement it in your region. Ideally, look for a niche that will truly bring the need something new. You will literally find yourself in a blue ocean. A situation where there is almost no competition. People will eagerly use your product, be grateful to you, and in this case, you will need to use less marketing, fewer investments, and overall, the business will forgive more mistakes. Personally, I would now look towards franchises in the field of goods rental, pet care, eco-product, education, and the production of alternative energy sources. In general, I like the idea of studying small players, observing them, and assessing their prospects. It is among them that you can find a niche that will become a blue ocean. And finally, the last thing I want to focus on today is the criteria for choosing a franchise. For me, the key here will be the duration of the franchise's existence and the number of locations it has. Also, if I understand that the brand has many of its own branches and continues to open them, I will most likely focus on them and proceed to a more detailed analysis. It is important for me to understand how much the company believes in its product and is ready to develop it. I would of course look at the reviews of the branches. How well is the technology transferred from region to region? How many branches have a rating? And if 20% or more of the reviews are negative from the enterprise, I would immediately abandon the idea of buying such a franchise. This means that the managing company poorly transmits the technology and, most importantly, poorly controls it. If the reviews are in order, I will move on to the financial indicators requirements at the moment of selling the franchise. Here it is important to understand how the managing company selects franchises in general, and therefore my future partners, who also directly influence the reputation and success of the brand. There are no boundaries in franchise analysis. It's important how cool-headed and meticulous you are to examine the already operating premiers of managing companies under a microscope. You can absolutely feel free to act like a journalist and investigator, trying to examine companies from all angles. And once you've done that, you need to understand, can you really ensure the successful launch of this product? It's important to understand how effective your partnership will be. The student-teacher relationship with the managing company. How prepared are you at the project implementation stage? Literally absorbing and doing everything that is said without making your own key decisions. especially at the start of the project. I hope this episode was useful for you. In any case, share what was missing and what you would like to hear in new episodes. And of course, subscribe to the channel.